say something that might sound ridiculous to some of you? Sometimes maintaining a home alone feels like a full-time job. Am I right? Did anybody ever teach us how to handle all of this? I mean, let's be real. I never thought I'd be on my own in my 60s and having to figure all this out. I'm just very grateful that I had a father who taught me a lot about home maintenance. So if you're new around here, I'm Cindy and I'm a retired nurse, and this whole channel is dedicated to reinvention after 50 because we deserve to live our best life. And there's a lot of things that I never thought about maintaining my own home, like the repairs. The repairs, just simple stuff. I mean, I can do touch-up paint, I can do paint, I can even patch a wall. But the big stuff, changing out a door, replacing windows, no, I have to hire somebody for that. And I'm grateful that I have a handyman now that I trust and I can call and he will come even do just the smallest of tasks. I have kids too, but the reality is I have limited time with them because they're busy with their own lives and I don't want that time to be spent with them taking care of my home. Does that make sense? Same thing with yard work. Call my handyman. He takes care of my yard. Now, sometimes my daughter will just show up and do it, and that's fine. But again, I don't want to depend on them, and I don't want to do yard work anymore. It hurts my back. I ain't gonna lie. 43 years of being a nurse and lifting and pulling and tugging, I got some low back issues. So if I can get it done at a reasonable cost and I can afford it, that's what I'm gonna do. And security, yes, I live alone. I live alone and I'm okay with it. But I also feel better because I do have cameras around my property and I have a security system. And that just gives me that little extra feeling, peace of mind, and it gives my kids peace of mind too, knowing that if something happened, they would be alerted. So you have to think about that too. Do I really want to pay for that? No, heck no. I could use that $76 a month to do something else. But at my age, it makes sense to have it in place. So I have it in place. And then emergency planning. Do you keep a list on your refrigerator of who your emergency contacts are? Because I will tell you as a nurse, generally, at least where I live, if EMS or fire show up, they're usually going to go to the refrigerator. So I don't remember where I got this. It was at some sort of a vendor fair, but it's a little red pouch and it's paper that you slide in and it says emergency contacts. I have all my kids listed on there in order because I don't want them to call the son in Calgary. He's out of the country. I need the kids local first, right? So I have all that listed. It has my allergies on it, things like that, and the medications that I'm on. So it's really important. And when I do home visits, because I do some contract insurance work, I always recommend, especially to these elderly people, if they're both elderly, you need to have something written down. You need it in a standard place so emergency personnel know where to look. Or even if you're having a caregiver come into the home, what happens if you collapse and you can't respond and you can't give that information? What is your emergency plan? Also, okay, what if you do have an emergency and you have to evacuate your home? When the kids were littler and living at home, we always had a point down the street that was our meeting point. And that's still the meeting point, right? And then the other thing that I do is I have an iPhone and I allow my daughter to have location settings. Do I need to do that? No. But it's also not because she's trying to, oh, where's mom going now? It's for security. And that's important because you also want your kids to feel good about your decision to live alone and to maintain your home. So for me, that was a concession that I was willing to make. And again, the home maintenance routine. I've got an HVAC guy who comes twice a year to check out my system. I've got a plumber that I like. And it's taken me years to find these service companies or servicemen that I can trust and that I don't feel like they're ripping me off. So I encourage you to keep a list of that. And if you haven't built those relationships, get recommendations from friends and family. That's how I found my handyman, from a neighbor across the street. She used him and loved him and recommended him to me. So by having these types of systems in place, it is allowing me to feel comfortable at home and makes me feel like I can do it, confident in my ability to be able to live alone and take care of my stuff. So I encourage you to do the same thing. So tell me, what part of maintaining your home is the hardest for you? Tell me in the comments. And I also would encourage you to go to the pinned comment or in the description and grab the playlist on reinvention, because I'm telling you, we don't talk about this enough. And I don't know about you ladies, but I'm done being quiet. In my generation, I was taught, you take what you're given and be grateful for it. You know, I wasn't encouraged to stand up and live life on my terms. Well, I be danged, I'm not having none of that now. So grab that playlist, because this is a safe space, and make sure you hit subscribe.